Hey guys, and welcome to another Baro video. He is here, we're on the Saturn Relay on Chronia. Let's go check out his inventory. This one is for PC, so we've got the primed Bane mods, they are back again. These mods are actually a lot better than people give them credit for. They're actually very much worth picking up. It's kind of a shame that it's going to be maxing out 3 primed mods. However, I would say that they are definitely worth picking up and maxing out because I use them on a whole bunch of builds, like a straight elemental build, one that's not really built for crit or status. It's going to benefit really quite a lot basically from these Prime Bane mods, so I would say they're worth picking up. We've also got Prime Morphic Transformer, so if you love your Arcwing, this is actually a pretty decent upgrade to the standard Morphic Transformer, which I think is only, what, 30%? I want to say, so an extra 25% power strength. It's going to be very expensive to max this mod just for an extra 25% power strength, but there you go, it's there if you want to have that. We've got Primed Courier Rounds, which is back again. This is definitely worth picking up. I have it maxed. I'm not really using it because it's a very expensive depolarity, and there are very few weapons where I can fit the depolarity on there. Because basically I don't have anything else to put in that slot if I don't want Prime Courier Rounds. It's going to be one of those ones that if you want like a super specific setup, if you want something that is very heavy on the viral, then Prime Courier Rounds is going to be useful, and then you form your weapon to be like a straight Grenier killer, and Prime Courier Rounds will do some fantastic work on that build. But for the average build, it's kind of hard to fit it on there. I would still say it's worth picking up though, and maxing out if you can. It's another one of those ones where a straight elemental weapon, especially if you combine it with the Prime Banes, is going to do some real work for you. We've also got the 3-day affinity booster, that is back again. I actually really badly need this, so I'm going to be spending pretty much all of my Ducats on affinity boosters. It's 450 Ducats, 200,000 credits. It's pretty expensive, but I would say it's worth picking up if you want a few days worth of boosters. In terms of cosmetics, we've got the Katir Kubro armor, which is back again. It's okay, it's not like my favourite looking thing. It's kind of derpy, I mean, there you go, like his nose sticking through the front there. There's hair coming through everywhere. I mean, it's one of those things, if you're doing like a Baro themed kind of loadout with your frame, with your Kubro, then you can pick it up. I'm not a big fan of this myself. I don't think it looks that great. But then, you know, everyone has their own preferences of how things are going to look. But, so, 500 Ducats, 250,000 credits. It is very expensive for what it is. However, if you like it, then you might as well pick it up. The Katir Arrow skin is also back again. This is just basically a skin changing the look of your arrows on any bow you want. It's kind of a cool looking thing. I don't think I use it on any of my bows, but it's not a bad looking thing if you do want that. It's another cosmetic that if you're a bow user, you may want to look at this. The Katir Dyak Sindana is also back again. I mean, I am not a fan of this at all. I don't like the look of it. I think it's too bulky. It's kind of weird looking. However, once again, it's going to be whether you like it more than if I like it. 325 Ducats, 450,000 credits. It's, again, fairly expensive. However, it's effectively a free cosmetic if you want it, so it's worth picking up if you actually like the Sindana. The Nexus Fur pattern for your Kubro is actually one that I use quite a lot. It's actually one of my Kubros as well. 150 Ducats, 300,000 credits. It's a very good looking little skin for that. I'd say it's worth picking this up if you like your Kubros, if you want to get a good pattern on there. Just be aware, you know, if you've got a Lotus pattern, it's gonna replace that. However, if you don't like the pattern in your Kubro, then a little bit of Ducats and some credits, and you can make him look pretty decent. In terms of weapons this time around, we have the Prova Vandal. I mean, this is one of my most hated weapons in the game. I think it's one of the worst weapons in the game in terms of melee weapons. It is. I don't like using the phrase mastery fodder, but this is mastery fodder in every sense of the word. And it's 410 Ducats, 250,000 credits, so it's a pretty expensive mastery fodder. However, if you, for some reason, want to use this thing, then it's here this time around. If not, just pick it up for the free 3,000 mastery points. I mean, it's it's there for a little bit extra mastery if you need it. So it is here this time around. And the brand new thing this time around is the Corrupted Bombard Spectre. As you can see the costs down there. We've got Nanospore, Salvage, Ferrite credits. It's pretty cheap, to be honest. It's something, if you like Spectres, actually getting these would be pretty decent. I actually quite like using Spectres every now and again, so I'm actually going to pick up a few of these. However, if you're not a big Spectre user, then I'm sure you don't really have a use for these. But if you're into like your longer run survivals and stuff, like dropping one of these at like 30 minutes, 60 minutes, it's gonna spawn at that level of the enemies, and it is gonna do some serious work. So it is something that you could actually drop. You can get it to use. It's gonna soak up damage for you, and it's a corrupted bombard, so it's gonna dish out some serious damage as well. So 100 ducats, 50,000 credits. I would definitely say it's worth picking up a few of these if you like your Spectres. And for console this time around, just a really quick run through. For cosmetics, we've got the Prisma Daedalus knee pads. It's one of my favourite armour sets in the game. It's well worth the 65 ducats, the 75,000 credits to be able to pick those up. I love this full set, and I definitely recommend these. We also have the Prisma Sentinel accessories, the Prisma Jet Sentinel wings, and the Koi Sentinel tail. 300 ducats for the wings, 200 for the tail. Both of those are 200,000 credits each. Like the Daedalus stuff, I like these quite a bit and use them a lot on my Sentinels. If you turn your unwanted prime stuff into making your Sentinels look good, then this is the chance for you to do that. Now, we've also got the Katir Sugatra, if you like dangly things that go on the handle of your melee weapons. Honestly, it's not a horrible looking thing, to be honest, but I don't personally like any of the Sugatras. It's not a bad thing though for someone that does like those. 250 ducats, 250,000 credits on something that small. It's kind of, honestly, it's kind of pushing the boundaries of whether it's worth it, in my opinion. In terms of mods though, we've got the Primed Regen Sentinel mod. Now, I'm not going to go into the discussion again around Prime Regen, because I addressed it in a video that after it was released, and that's linked in the description below. But the TLDR is, I do think the mod is worth picking up and maxing out, especially with Helios Prime coming next week. We also have the Slash mods come back again as well, all 4 of those. These mods are very situational. I don't use most of them at all. There's a couple I do, like Sweeping Serration on the Tigris Prime, for example, or on the Sancti Tigris. But if you need to save some ducats and you don't have enough ducats to buy everything, then these are probably the ones to do it on to save some ducats, especially since there's 375 ducats and 150,000 credits each. If you can afford them, then it's worth grabbing them though, just in case. You never know if a weapon's going to crop up where these are going to really work well on them. Finally, we have the beacons. They allow you to summon any of the death squads, and that means you can effectively farm any of the items that you need from them. At 200 ducats, 125,000 credits, they are fairly expensive, but if you badly want that hate blueprint, for example, then trading in some ducats and credits to try and spend a day farming it specifically doesn't seem like a bad idea to me. So these are both the items for console and for PC this week. The PC stuff's kind of disappointing, to be honest. The Spectres were a bit more expensive than I think they probably should have been, especially since you only get 5 of them for each one that you buy. Plus, I rarely see Spectres at all, so this is really not going to appeal to many people at all. So I hope this was helpful, even if it was slightly late. I'd like to let you know in the comments if you actually want me to continue doing these. It almost feels like I say the same thing every time he comes along. There's so very little new that's to talk about. Just let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see and whether you want to see me carry on doing these. But for now, many thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.